Next up is another interesting personal story from the CEO who's presenting. He actually worked in the Toronto Blue Jays baseball organization, believe it or not, running statistics, which gives him a pretty good perspective on some of the business that he's doing now. I'd like to welcome to the stage the youngest company in the maturity curve from all six this year, but potentially one of the most exciting. This is Noah from Bowery.
What's the most antiquated sector of the real estate industry? Look at leasing. It used to rely on Word docs, Excel sheets, and PDFs of leases. Now there's VTS. Property compliance, back in the day, and you can ask Ross, it actually used to be just hope and pray, and now there's site comply. Office cleaning used to be walkie-talkies and buckets of soap, and even that has managed by Q. So what is the one space that's been completely left in the dust? What is the most antiquated sector of the real estate industry? Commercial appraisals. And the reason why is simple. This is what your typical appraiser looks like, give or take. He's great at appraising, but he's not staying up late at night trying to figure out how to revolutionize the appraisal space. And this is what the current process looks like today. It is a complete disaster. Handcrafting 100-page documents while simultaneously juggling over 15 different tools and sources. If this is giving you a headache, I get it. As appraisers, my co-founder and I felt this pain every single day for years. And as bad as it is for appraisers, it's even worse for the borrowers and lenders who have to wait on these unreliable reports. Now, this is a big deal. There are $200 billion worth of CRE loans that cannot be made without these appraisals. And these appraisals are inconsistent, which undermines credibility. They're expensive. Banks spend billions of dollars annually on appraisals. And they're slow. In terms of timing, the appraisal accounts for 40% of the total loan process. And the way that this process is done has not changed in the last 30 years. Until now. Good afternoon. I'm Noah, and I'm the co-founder of Bowery, the tech-enabled appraisal firm. With our proprietary internal platform, our appraisers produce reports more than twice as fast as our competition, with industry-leading quality and accuracy. And appraisal firms today, they're inconsistent, they're inefficient, and they all offer the same commodity. The tech solutions still require juggling over 15 different tools and sources. They don't offer APIs, meaning no potential for data exchange, and they have limited, if any, automation, making them still extremely slow. For the first time ever, a truly tech-enabled appraisal firm. Think of us as Compass for appraisals. And to give you guys an idea of what the leading tech looks like, this is narrative one. This is Bowery. We are the future. Now, I wanted to show you what it takes to write an appraisal the old-fashioned way, but Aaron vetoed the 10-hour presentation, so I'll give you a very brief overview. Meet Richard. Richard used to work at one of the top appraisal firms in New York, and here's what a typical day in his life looked like. At 9 a.m., Richard leaves his house to inspect the subject property. This means driving to the site, formatting pictures, transcribing notes. He gets back from his office around 11:30, and now he has to manually enter in property information from over 10 different websites. This will take him to about 1 o'clock. And then at this point, Richard hasn't even eaten lunch yet. And now he has to search for tax comps, expense comps, cap rate, and sales comps, which will require him to tediously mine through old Excel sheets, or worse, repeat work that he and his colleagues have already done numerous times. And at this point, now he has to handwrite page after page of analysis, which will inevitably be filled with human errors and typos. Richard's good, but he's only human. And this will take him to just before 6. And at this point, now Richard has to review the entire 100-page document, which means he's not getting out of the office until well past 7. The total time for Richard on a good day is over 10 hours per report. But the good news, look at poor Richard's face. The good news is now Richard works at Bowery. With our fully integrated mobile inspection app, Richard never has to format pictures or handwrite notes again. With our public record integration, No more going to 10 different websites to manually input in property information. Once he's entered in his rent roll and his expenses, he's done. And with our passive databasing and map-based search, every single comp that has ever entered Bowery is just a click away. Utilizing Bowery's natural language generator, Richard doesn't have to write paragraphs ever again. He can create hundreds of millions of paragraphs on the fly just by checking a few boxes. And because our platform programmatically creates every report from scratch, there are no more typos, no more information left over from old reports, and no more user input errors, which makes review essentially superfluous. This means that Richard's able to complete an entire report in time for lunch. Now Richard can get sushi. He loves sushi. Then he can do an entire new report, start to finish, and still be out of the office in time for dinner. Richard's life is way easier, but it also means that Bowery's labor costs are a fraction of the competition. This means that on a report level, we're able to capture a 76% profit margin, more than twice our most efficient competitors. And because we deliver our reports twice as fast, banks that use Bowery can increase loan volume, which means more money for them. It also means that our clients' borrowers are happier too, because now they can finally get their loans delivered on time. Now let's look at the bigger picture. There are $3.9 billion worth of commercial appraisals being done every year on $200 billion worth of CRE loans. And the market's completely fragmented. The top 4 players combined only account for 13% market share. There's a huge opportunity here, and we have the team to capture it. In our 13 combined years in real estate valuation, we appraised over $30 billion worth of commercial real estate for the top financial institutions in the world. We started this company 18 months ago with a passion for fixing what is broken. And earlier this month, we hired our first appraiser, Richard. We built a platform that JP Morgan's head of commercial real estate called remarkable. What the CEO of the second largest independent appraisal firm in the country described as the best appraisal product he had ever seen. And what the head of valuation at Newmark tapped as the future. And it is a future that we cannot wait to shape. Thank you.